bums. Don't bring that weak shit in here.
4, 3, 2, kick it.
Yo, Chico.
Expose these clowns!
Dear God! Bold punch out! It's time for the Freddie Chico show to begin! Open up your ears and listen closer! I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Feeling and strong, watching clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them most of my wordplay. Freddie Chico show. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Feeling and strong, watching clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them most of my wordplay. Freddie Chico show. I speak for the truth of my people, I will never quit. No fear in my heart, they keep talking while I'm living this. Kneel for the spirit of the fallen, calling Japanese. Them soldiers always raising up our fifth street analysts. They lost in the zone of a fatal state. True facts in the story only carry weight. Keep the grind on your mind each and every day. But don't copy off of mine, eat what's on your plate. Respect to Huey P. and Bobby Seale. Malcolm X and the King, cause the dream is real. What I said, and I mean it all. If you're looking for the real Freddie Chico show. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Feeling and strong, watching clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them the best of my wordplay. Freddie Chico show. I'm here for the justice of my people living by the code. Feeling and strong, watching clowns all get exposed. My energy never fade. I'ma give them the best of my wordplay. Freddie Chico show.
Testing 1, 2. Welcome to the Freddie Chico show. I appreciate everyone coming in here. I see my wife is in here showing support. Love you, Queen. You know it's Rep Your City time. We'll start the timer. Start the clock. Let's go, Rep Your City. Let me know where you're checking in from. Give a shout out to a new group that I just joined. I told you I couldn't remember the name earlier. Stop. What are you doing? Get out of the way. It's not showing me all my groups. Why? Wow, I should be the last one on the list. Go all the way to the bottom. I still can't find it. Means I got too many groups I belong to. Let me start deleting some of this stuff. But just ended earlier today. You would think. Real Black Relationships, that's what it's called. Real Black Relationships. Hopefully some people come in from there. And what I am going to do, see if it'll let me do it. Come on now. It's like if I wanted to do something, that's exactly what it's not going to do. Gotta go through all kind of changes just to get it to act right. Just hit copy, so why won't it? Copy. Nope. Copy. Now it will. See, just a bunch of junk. Alright. Aishan, what's going on? Franklin, oh, no wonder you probably go out there because you in Warner Robins. Oh, you're not that far from there. You could probably take a ATL in the building. I see you, Sonny. I see you. by way of Augusta. Or the other way around, is it? Appreciate y'all, Aishan. I see you. You know, don't get in trouble eating your cheese sandwich. Appreciate you coming in. We got a hot topic tonight for relationship topics. Like I said, shout out to what is his name? Curtis Fade and so maybe it's the same person. Curtis Palmer. Both of them are admins for Real Black Relationships group. Got 26,000 members in it. But I like some of the stuff they're doing. Some of the videos I have watched so far. What is a simp? I think it was, or what is your definition of a simp? Was one of their questions they asked. But please follow me on all these social media: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Instagram's acting up tonight. You know, I had to shut Instagram down. It's not doing, it's acting new today. So, time is up. Let's get to the topic. Without further ado. Oh, and also, BlueOrchard.com. Y'all check them out. Get this. If you were wondering where I got this hat from, thanks. I'm glad you asked. But I got it from BlueOrchard.com. Never quit. All the young people talking about the hashtag never quit. But the topic for tonight is: should child support increase if your ex marries a rich person? What say you? And we can also apply it to if for both guy and girl, you know, for the girl, should it increase? For the guy, should it decrease? If the girl marries a millionaire, should the child support decrease based on the fact that there's more household income coming from the husband? So I'm looking for YouTube as well. Okay. Don't be nervous. You, you can share your opinion. How do I do that? Nope, I can't do it on that. Can't do it on that one. Oh, while everybody is contemplating, you know, how they can answer it, as Franklin said, tough question. Maybe she can ask for an increase. Um, I don't. I don't think it should be an increase. I don't think that new person should have any um, factor to deal with when it comes to child support. It should be between the two that created that child. He said, no, it shouldn't because in the same breath the custodial parents receive child support doesn't get altered when they get married. Right. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, that would be a balancing um, situation where it's like, okay, if it can be altered, if he gets remarried and his income increases, um, that it should decrease if she gets married um, because of their income increasing. But I doubt the people that are increased supporters are going to support decrease. And you said legally she can ask for an increase. Why do you think that's right? Do you think it's right for her to ask for an increase because the husband, the ex, is now married to um, Bill Gates' wife or Melania Trump? He said no because the non-custodial parent can ask for a decrease if the custodial parent starts to make more money or if non-custodial parent loses their job. I gotta read those acronyms and whatnot. I know what the heck that meant. Non-CP. Mm-hmm. Yep, that is true. Hey, gotta come with your thinking cap. All right, Warner Robins. But but yeah, it's definitely um, I've seen scenarios where conniving or people trying to con the system happen, and there was one where the girl got talked into requesting more money because her friends talked her into it, even though he did not need a court order to do it. He was just giving money. Um, he came up with a number on his own. But when she went to the court and they were like, okay, let me evaluate how much he should give, it was like extremely less. So he's like, okay, since you want to take me to court, that's all I'm going to pay. I'm not going to continue paying what I was paying. I'm going to pay what the court order, and that's it. They didn't work out too well for that girl. Um, Also, I don't want to make an assumption that the custodial parent is a woman. It could be either the mom or the dad, but in either case, I feel the same way. Very good point. Very good point. Most of the time it is the mother, regardless if she's the better parent or not. But yes, if the dad is a custodial parent and the mom marries a rich person, the rich person has nothing to do with the child support. That's between the mom and the dad, not the other person that they marry. Some actually think they shouldn't. Hey, what's going on, Lasandra? Lasandra's in the building. Some actually think they shouldn't have to do for their kid because the other is married, which is not right. You should do for your child regardless. Um, Absolutely. That I guess would be the other extreme of it. Is like, well, since you, because I think what you're talking about, Lizandra, is somebody they want the girl to never be involved with anybody else, because if they do, they're like, okay, well, he takes over the duties. No, 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 no. You still have your responsibility of it. It's up to him if he wants to do certain things. Let's see, is this? Hold on. I think my green screen is acting up. Nope, it's this one. So, or is it the fan? Nope, is it the fan? It's that. Okay. child support should only be for the man or woman that refuses to do anything for their kid. Okay, that's a good point too. Um, that you have to let them know that there's something they need to do that they can't figure that out on their own. Somebody got to tell them. He said I did that too. She went after me for more money and then got mad when I stopped doing things on my own. My favorite line was, "Didn't you get your check?" Hey, you call that on yourself, you know. So morally, I probably give more, for my lifestyle has changed significantly. Morally, you will give more. Got you. But the problem that I have with that, because a lot of times people want to say, okay, let's just be the bigger person, in spite of the other person being a smaller person. Child support is just that, child support, not wife support, not ex support. You know, it's supposed to go 100% to the child. It should not go to nothing else. You know, I know some people say, well, you know, the child is eating the food, or the child is burning the electricity, or the child is, contributing to the water bill and whatnot. Um, so I can understand that, but too many times, or more often than not, it's paying for the ex's lifestyle, and that is not morally correct. He said, I also agree the whole concept of child support has been abused by many, but its original intent, I thought, was to get financial aid from the non-custodial parent that wasn't voluntarily contributing financially to the upbringing of a child. Actually, no. What it was supposed to do, because of the inability of the woman to work, that was supposed to take care of the woman. And, well, I'll take that back. Alimony was supposed to be for that. But child support, yes, that's exactly what it's supposed to be. That or to the point of neither one of them could agree, and like one might want more, one might want less, and so they need someone to mediate. Okay, this is what is we deem reasonable, and you're obligated to that. It should not be because you're bitter and don't want the other one to move on. Yep, absolutely. Because then that would put blocks on both sides on, hey, I don't want to get involved with this because it's going to affect this child support. Or the person may not want to get involved with it because now their hard work is going to be pulled towards something they didn't have nothing to do with. Got you. Um, but yeah, it's like I said, too many people. Because remember, it was like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It was on a radio show. They had the question. It's like, if the mother has been living, and I don't know if they said that part, but of course it's implied. If she's getting ready to be evicted because her child is 18 and the child support stops and she can no longer afford where she lives, should the ex pay the rent or continue to pay child support even though there's no child, just so that the ex has a roof over their head because they can't afford it? And that was they felt a legit question to ask anyone. Like, yeah, don't you think that's the right thing to do? A grown woman can't pay her own rent, and I think in this there's like the talk of, well, why is he living good and I'm over here struggling? He need to give me some more of his money, so I don't have to struggle. Because you are not obligated to make a better life for yourself. He's the one that's obligated to make a better life for you, right? He's got a W-2. He had exemptions, all that kind of stuff. But they were asking, should he still pay child support? That don't make sense to me. But people think that's a legit question. Like, they should be like, yeah, consider it. Yep. You said no. That person needs to make better choices. Absolutely. You know, stop having champagne taste on a Kool-Aid stomach. And if you haven't already, please go to the FreddieChicoShow.com website to register as a member and to submit topics, share, and invite. But got this here available for our social distancing, um, behaving ourselves, non-Republican people. You know, so and it's also will support the channel, support the show, and allow me to continue bringing this hard hitting topics to you. You know, let's see here. What's going on, Levy? Oh, wait a minute, that's Walter. I'm like, why does that look like? What's going on, Walter? It's a different name. You look weird. Is it also if the custodial parent decides to move into a more expensive living situation, that should not be grounds to ask for an increase? Yeah, you know, when people start just having, you know, visions of grandeur because they feel the court's going to be in their favor regardless of what they do, you know, again, child support should be supporting the child. If you want to live in Buckhead, pay them Buckhead rent, and the child, you know, support shouldn't have anything to do with that. Because if you decide to live in a what's going on, FHO in the building, Fast Harleys only. Check out my boy YouTube channel, Ground Pounder Extraordinaire. I appreciate you coming through. We definitely got to still link up. Hopefully, we can figure out a time that's conducive for both of us, so we can do that brotherhood culture, you know, and we're gonna talk on that. We're gonna talk on that, you know. Bring my Kawasaki somewhere. We need to go riding, just around. I ain't trying to go to California. Just letting you know that right now. I'm not going to California, dude. I go to Carrollton. But we're talking about tonight, we're talking about should child support increase if your ex marries a rich person? What you say about that, FHL Big Sale? You know what I'm saying? We'll get it done. We'll get it done. Um, Definitely click like on Facebook. I mean, not Facebook, but YouTube. Support the channel that way. He said child support is nothing but a big scam for bitter baby mamas. Uh oh. So you think it should be abolished altogether? You know, because again, I don't know if this is where you're going with that, but I said earlier is like child support should be child support, not wife support, not ex-wife support. Wife should support herself. The two of y'all made the baby. Two of y'all should support the baby, not each other. Because if, because anyway, we should cancel each other out. Because then at the same time, You know, like Sonny said, if the guy is the custodial parent, there needs to be husband support in the same manner. Keep that same energy. You know. Um, there are also a question that says if the custodial parent lights get cut off because the non-custodial parent, oh, get cut off, should the non-custodial parent pay the bill? I said nope, and I say nope too. The kids can come stay with me until you pay your bill. I'm like, come on, man, get out the club, stay out the club, and pay your bills. Take care of your responsibility. Like you always say, the guy need to take care of their responsibilities. Yeah, take care of your responsibilities. Keep the lights on. You know. He said, yes, sir. If this is truly about the child, then why isn't the child involved? No counseling. Hell, 90% of fathers can't even see the child. Um, that's a high number. Um, the yeah, that the child is actually just used as a tool in those cases. Um, you know, because I definitely would have conversations with guys that are like, they've just been brainwashed so much that they're like, there's nothing I can do. The girl has to keep the father, or keep the child, or whatever. And I'm like, to another extreme where they don't want anything. They want to so-called be free and just have to pay a bill, and that's all they got to do. So those guys exist as well. So I'm not going to knock that. I'm not going to deny that. Um, but um, but the system is antiquated where it's really hard for a woman to lose custody. It's really hard for a woman to be the non-custodial parent. I don't care if she is unemployed for years. They'll still go, still think she's the better parent. You know, he said, I would not have dared to ask my ass to pay my bill. Like, who does that? Now, if the two parents have that type of friendship where they're more like family and have each other's back, that's one thing. But I don't think that's the case for most folks. yeah, yeah, I don't know about that one. You know what I mean? And like I said, if you are um, buying a lot of frivolous stuff, I have no sympathy if your power gets shut down. If you got the extra long nails, knowing you don't even wipe your behind properly, you know you got stink. But I don't want to hear nothing about no bill that ain't got paid yet. Sorry, not sorry. Pay your bills. Get a better job. Make better choices. Like Sonny said, make better choices. Um, Absolutely, I agree with you. You said listen, supporting a child is not just about money. What about time, knowledge, etc.? Women can't raise a man. That part has to play into it too. So I'm not a big fan of how, and I believe this is typically what happens, is that the non-custodial parent has the child every other weekend. So 4 days out the month is nothing if you're going to try to implant something in a child. How do they know who their father is if you're never there or able to, glean from you? It's one thing when parents in a two parent household are looking at the child and going, oh, that's your daddy. Oh, that's your mom. Because they seen. I mean, they absorb everything very quickly, whether you want them to or not. And you got to be careful around them. So now I'm at hard time situation like a job is lost, but something out of your control. Not you have bad spending habits. Gotcha, gotcha. I mean, it happens. I mean, if you're not on bad terms, and even sometimes when you are on bad terms, you can, be the bigger person and look out, and just know that your blessings are coming in other ways, kind of thing. I see that, Sonny. So my ex tried that. You can't see the kids crap with me. It lasted all of 3 months. That's a long time. My kids drove her crazy asking about me. She realized that then the kids needed me more than they needed my money. Absolutely. You know, because she felt empowered at that time. to kind of be the gatekeeper, due to the backing she's getting from the court. Um, I agree. Supporting a child is not just about the money. People love to throw the phrase about a woman not being able to raise a man. I never hear that in regards to a man not being able to raise a woman, though. I find that interesting. Well, I agree with it on the other side too. A man can't raise a woman. He can't. We can do certain things that are um, um, outside the, to put it blunt, talking about cycles and growth spurts and what do you call it, puberty. We can't read a book, you know, read what it says in the book, but nah, can't do that. Just like the woman can't do that for a man. She can't tell him what puberty is for a man. She can talk about what she does with the woman, her and her body, her body, her choice. His body, his choice. um, I said, right, not always about the money. Said I'm a good father with bitter baby mamas. Okay, hold on. I've tried everything to work it out, but if me and her are not working out, then it's child support. A girl needs a woman, for example. Absolutely. You know, there there's parts we do play. You know, and one is not more important than the other, and that's I think where we get lost sometimes is we go too far with one and saying this one is the most important when both are equally important in raising a child, regardless of it's a boy or a girl. Both are equally important, and they play a role. He said, "Girl needs an example." Yep, and just like a boy needs a man for guidance. Yep, same thing. So it's not one-sided or biased on like, oh yeah, y'all need this, but the girls don't need this or what have you. Um, Especially if you see a child struggle, the money goes down the drain. Um, you, you said so because you never hear a man say, "I'm your father and your mother." That's some corny stuff, Tyler Perry stuff right there. We know who we are and we play our position. A lot of females live by that both parents logic, and it's corny. It's corny. I've seen it, and they probably have them if you go right now to the grocery stores or whatever. That the mother is the mother and the father, but you never see Happy Mother's Day to fathers on Mother's Day, which is this weekend or this Sunday. Um, so listen, this child support ish, calm the language down, is a scam. If it wasn't then, how come the money is split between the courts and the child's $300? Courts get 120, the mother gets 180. Oh, because I mean, the court's got its expenses. You know what I'm saying? They got to get a cut of it. So they're a team with the baby mama. I don't know. $120. I don't know. Court fees are not cheap, I guess. I didn't know that. It said, Chico, you know the deal, being in the Army in Fayetteville, it was all about the green ID card. Every promotion came up was a letter from the court. Let's review LES. Oh, you went from E6 to E7. That's true. But that's the person, though. That's the person. And that I can understand. But women got over like a fat rat, I'm pretty sure in every branch. But when I was in, the last time I was in was 2001 to 2004, and they had a thing, and I don't think it's changed too much before me, and I don't think it's changed too much after me. If a child is born out of wedlock and the parents are not together, that woman gets $590 something a month. Now, if she has another child by that same person, the money goes down to like 300 something, and then the next child is a little bit less. So what these girls would do was only have one child with each dude. So there was one girl that had like three baby daddies and one on the way. The one on the way was in my unit. So she was clearing $1,800 a month, tax free. They weren't taking nothing out of that. Living on base, housing, no rent, no utilities. All she had to pay is her cable and her cell phone bill. Talking about she broke. And that she need the new about to be baby daddy to give her more money. Because he's not giving her enough money. Help me understand that one. So it depends on, because the custodial parent, no matter what gender, is ordered to pay now. However, bitter mothers take the money and use it for other things themselves, vacations, and their new partner. Yep. Yep. Trust me, you take into a father that pays it every month. Wow. Like I said, I do not have first-hand experience of that. I hate that that's the case. Because, like Sonny was saying, it's like if you are taking care of business without having to involve the courts. I know there's plenty of people that don't get the courts involved and just take care of business. That when it comes to that, that's a part of the game. Is that, hey, if the court's got to decide, you got to pay the court some stuff too. You know what I'm talking about, Franklin. Um, that's wild. I had a man on suicide watch because she drove him that crazy. Said, no, I never heard a man say that, but I have also never heard a man say a girl needs to go live with her mother because he can't teach her how to be a woman either. I've seen plenty of dads take their rightful position on the throne, though, and raise their kids regardless of the child's gender, but I understand the point you are trying to make. I just found it interesting. Yeah, I mean, well, and the only thing I would um say to that, as far as never hearing a man saying he needs to send her to live with the mother, so he can show her, so she can show her how to be a woman, is the relationship. And I guess that could go both ways. Where it's like if the mother does not feel that the father is a good model to model their child after, that some man that they respect, an uncle, a cousin, brother, some that will, be that example that they can, glean from. And same thing for the men. It's like a woman that they respect that will be that model for their daughters to look at, instead of looking at Cardi B and Miley Cyrus on YouTube, or Megan Thee Stallion. If they work together, there's no need to bring the court into the mix. And, yep, the mother would get more if she just worked with the father outside the court. Right. And I would say not the mother would get more, the child would get more. Because it's not about the mother. It's not about the father. It's about the child. The mother need to get off her behind and get a job. The father need to get off his behind and get a job to support the child they both made. Not just him and not just her. So, I mean, since the time I was 16, 17, and you would see the stories and hear the stories of people, I'm like, I would never leave my child. She gonna leave first. Now while I'm still breathing, she gonna pay me child support. Now, I'm not leaving my child. It's not happening. But that's just me. He said, no, I never heard a man say that. But I have also never heard a man. Oh, wait a minute. Did it go back up? Yep, it did. I thought I read that already. But there's so many things where they'll claim it's 50-50, but it's not. It's really, if you're only seeing the child every 4 days, or 4 days out the month, that's not 50-50. 50-50 is child stays with one parent 2 weeks, child stays with the other parent the other 2 weeks. That's 50-50, you know. But and also, if it is truly 50-50, there should be no child support. When they have the child, they finance that child. When they don't, they don't. Because I know, I'm not going to put his name out there, but I know more than one, not just him, more than one father that was taking care of the child and paying child support. And the child was not even with the mother. And the courts would not change it to reflect that. And that to me is dysfunctional. Because if you go to any city, USA, and go to their police department and look, they all have a wall. I've seen a couple of them. But they all have a wall where it's like deadbeat dad's wall. This person is behind child support 30,000. This one 50,000. This one 10,000. Whatever it is, a lot of money. Never see the women up there, and there's plenty of women that are behind on child support. They just won't go after them the way they go after the guys. The guys are taking the license, they're putting them in jail. Women, they're just sending them more letters. Send them another letter. Send them another letter. They don't have that same energy. And I guess part of it, I would say, blame is the guy too, not, demanding more. Because there's a lot of guys that think it's wrong for them to even expect a woman to pay child support. That's only a guy thing. And they're looking at them strange like, oh, can I ask for child support if I'm taking care of my child? Like, that's strange. He said, in the case of a child, the child become the pawn in a game of bitterness and hatred. Don't forget the children are fed bitter aid and blame the father or mother for not being there when in the realness, the mother is keeping the child away or keeping the children away until they get that money. Yeah, I've heard that. Well, until you do this, you can't see your kids. Or they'll say it's my kids. You can't see my kids. It's not our kids. And somewhere it's like they know it's a button to push, so they can manipulate them to do what they want by saying, oh, if you don't, I am cutting off all access. So I need you to do this, this, and this, which no court would ever support, but they're holding the kids over their head. Hey, they bow down to that. Said I've had my license suspended due to a computer glitch. Had my daughter on the road with me at the time and didn't even know it. Ouch. I've had that happen twice to me. One, I was out of state, but mine was suspended because I had switched different insurances. And at Georgia at that time, it was 98, 99, something like that. No, I think it might have been 99. 99. And they came to my apartment and my roommate was there. I happened to be at work. And they're like, yo, they're getting ready to come lock you up. I'm like, what do you mean lock me up? For what? He's like, they need to get your license. And I called them. They're like, oh, we're calling because your insurance claim you don't have insurance. I'm like, no, I switched insurance. Like, oh, well, you need to go downtown to the DMV downtown because that's the only one that has a computer that can do this, blah, blah. Go down there. They push the button. They go, your license is no longer suspended. I took a whole day to do this, and that's all you had to do was push a button. Yeah, that sucked. The other time I was in freaking um, um, Washington State, and they're like, "Well, since you haven't driven your car or driven a car in 3 years, we suspended your license. So you have to come all the way back to Georgia to show, um, to go to that same DMV, get them to push that button, then you can get a license somewhere else because they wouldn't give me my license." Um, so my son has 4 children. The first baby mama taught the children to ask for things when she was getting child support. Her phrase got broke as older children aged out and they stopped the payment. Then they reached 17 and a half. Mm. Mm-mm. All right, man. Appreciate you. I'll holler at you later. We still gonna talk about that King Randall stuff, but um, that'll be another show. Who knows? Might be this Friday. But appreciate just checking in. Get that money. You're working that second shift. I see. Went back to my Instagram, folks. I couldn't get it tonight. See what's going on so you get that rectified. Um, appreciate the share, FHO. You know, I appreciate the people coming through. Um, Definitely appreciate the support. And I am going to get some stuff going out, some giveaways once the YouTube channel grows to that point. I'm still working on what the numbers have to be, and I'll let you guys know on that. Also, I will let y'all know what the topic is for Friday. You know, it's trending topics. Whatever is the hot thing, that's what we're going to talk about, and what y'all want to talk about. If y'all have a lot of push behind it, I'll put it on the list. I will put it on the list. Always want to give a shout out to Bone Crusher, because that song is crazy. You know, seeing something happen here. Hopefully, y'all still see it and it's not playing on this side. Let's see, is it still playing there? But appreciate everybody in their input here. Y'all say something. Let me know y'all still can see me. There's no problems on y'all end on the show. Let's see, it says there's still 6 people. No, it doesn't say nothing now. Okay, y'all still there. Gotcha. All right. Yeah, this thing is glitching a little bit. Facebook, you gotta deal with the. Okay, cool. Thank you. Um, that we're gonna have some big things going on. I got some, collaborations I'm working on, some networking I'm working on. Um, he said, "What is crazy? I have a CDL I was paying every month, but somehow the money wasn't being distributed, and it was showing as non-payment. They were still going to suspend my license, even though that was my means of income." Basically, told me, "Oh well, yeah, yep, that I've heard plenty times over, where it's like, you do know if you take the one thing that's the basis of his income, it's going to make this even worse, unless that's what you're actually after. You're actually after that, so one, bitterness, or get a large sum of money, accruing. But if you don't ever get the money, does that help you? Yeah, that don't make sense. Nope. But appreciate y'all. Aishan, Sunny, Franklin, Rebecca, Walter in disguise, FHO, FHO Towing. Y'all got a bike? Holla at my boy FHO. He'll take care of your bike. Most towing places do not know how to tow motorcycles. Get with somebody that actually knows what they're doing and will take care of your bike. Lizandra, appreciate you. Make sure I don't forget anybody. That is everybody. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, time to shut down, and we'll have another one for you. You know, you said, let me see, yep, right here. We are here Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Working on the Twitter thing. Monday is religious topics, Wednesday, relationship topics, and Friday is hot trending topics, what's going on in the world. Um, and we're just going to keep it moving. If y'all haven't registered on the website, thefreddychicoshow.com, please do so and support the channel by liking and subscribing on the YouTube channel. It helps support the channel. I appreciate y'all. Remember, you don't have to think like me, but you do have to think. You're never too old to learn. You're never too young to teach. I am Freddy Chico. Holla at y'all. Chico out.